We are live.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the Boss XL Pit Lane Power Hour. All right, everyone. Welcome to the Boss XL Pit Lane Power Hour. All right, welcome
Is that on my end?
Boss XL. That is on your end.
That's not on my end, dude.
Welcome
Is that on my end?
Boss XL. That is on your end.
That's not on my end, dude.
Welcome
Is that on my end?
XL. That is on your end.
That's not on my end, dude.
Welcome.
Is that on my end?
I promise you, my man, that is not on my end. I have no window open here whatsoever. I promise you, my man, that is not on my end. I have no window open here whatsoever. I promise you, my man, that is not on my end. I have no window open here whatsoever. I promise you, my man, that is not on my end. I have no window open here whatsoever. Right, 1 second, guys. 1 second. 1 second.
It's a perpetual loop.
Whatsoever. Right, 1 second. Boom! It was
That was on your
my
end. See?
Can you believe it? It was on my end.
Man, all right. You know, it's a great thing, Rich, that we have this recorded and live for everyone. Listen, welcome everybody. It's your boy Big here. Bam! Let's hit people with the money hammer. Maybe I need to hit Rich over the head there a little bit because
You hit me with something.
yeah, exactly. He may call himself the Geek Boss, but today, for some reason, you know, we're kind of running a little behind. Let me explain what's going on for everyone here. If you're watching this for the first time, my name's Lloyd Dotson. Everyone calls me Big. And across the pond there is my co-host, co-creator of the Boss XL Supercharged Sales Loop System, the KC, Rich Green. I'm not going to call you the Geek Boss today because that would mean you know what the hell you're doing. So, but bottom line is we are running a little behind today because I had to go do some livery pickup service and all like that, making sure a bunch of things happen. I was out last night till about 1:30 a.m. with my daughter at a punk rock concert that she wanted to go to. She's only 14, so she couldn't go by herself. I enjoyed the music, but there were so many delays there. We didn't get home until about 1:30. Had to get up this morning, get my wife, pick her up, breakdown on the car. Just the list goes on. So anyway, man, Rich, I'm happy to be here, and I'm sure you are too, albeit all of the little echoes that were going on. What's going on, my man? What's it like at it's what, 9 o'clock, 9 or so over there in the UK?
Yeah, 9 o'clock Sunday night. It's been an awesome weekend. Had a great time, and yeah, what better way to finish it off than just like this. So yeah, all is well, mate. I'm ready to get psyched and help some people get started and line up an amazing week. So let's rock and roll.
Awesome. So if you're watching this for the first time, and with an opening like that, it may be the last time, but we promise what we essentially do on the Pit Lane Power Hour is tell you all about our Boss XL Supercharged Sales Loop System, and we explain exactly what it is. We open up our back office. We show the entire system. We show you proof progress results, real live screen shares of our back office as they're happening, and essentially take you through everything. And we explain exactly what the Boss XL Supercharged Sales Loop System is. Now, what we also do is we first off the bat tell you that the best way to actually get involved with the Boss XL Supercharged Sales Loop System is to get into the Facebook group. And to make that easy, we have a www.getinthegroup.com link that you can simply click on to get in the group. And that's going to allow you, if you're kind of shy, you don't want to, you kind of want to hang in the background, to kind of see everything that's going on, see why we've gone from 0 people the day after Christmas to nearing 1,500 people now in the group in just 2 short months. And I think you'll start to get an idea of it and why people love Boss XL so much after we explain exactly what it is. Now, rather than us just also come on every week in this show, we have regular everyday people just like you join us each week as special member guests so that they can kind of share their story of getting involved in Boss XL, where they came from, what they've been doing with Boss XL the last 45 days. And we're happy to have a special guest that I'm going to tell you who that is today. We're not going to bring him out right away, okay? Because we want to explain to you what the system is a little bit, and then you can start to understand his experience with the system. But our special guest today is one of our Winner's Circle members, and that's Josh Leal from here in good old USA. And Josh is going to come out probably in the next 15 or 20 minutes and kind of introduce himself and, in his own words, explain how he got involved with Boss XL, his experience so far, what he's looking forward to, the pluses, the minuses. Again, we keep it real, we keep it raw, unscripted. But before we do that and bring out Josh, Rich, you know, one of the things that I appreciate what we're doing, and we are getting a lot of people saying the same thing, is they appreciate that you and I are basically a breath of fresh air.
I can
when
smell
it comes, can
that.
smell that lavender, you know, because there's a lot of shit out there when it comes to systems and training, and people are they're, you know, again, if I had my computer ready that part, I should have pulled up that chat I had with someone that said, you guys are like the Febreze of online marketing now, where you're basically, it's a breath of fresh air, cleaning up all the bad odors and crap out there. Now that we might be biased. We actually, that does smell good. Oh, wow. Oh, Mediterranean lavender. Excellent. All right. So the bottom line is, if you're watching this for the first time, someone shared a link with you because they wanted you to find out what the Boss XL Supercharged Sales Loop System is all about. And you want to get back to that person because they can guide you through, get you into the group, be your hand holder, if you will. And maybe you too will eventually have that same type of attitude and feedback that you feel that we are the Febreze Mediterranean lavender there of online marketing offers.
By the way, other air fresheners are available. Yeah,
absolutely. We're not pushing. We don't have an affiliate offer for Febreze, by the way. But make sure you get back to that person. But Rich, now I think that's great that someone would say something like that. But why do you think that is, my man? Why do you think that is, that someone would make a comment like that? And I thought it was a fairly, you know, interesting the way that they put that out there, that we're the Febreze of, and obviously it's a US based
I've been called a lot of things in my time, but Febreze is that's a new one on me. But you know what? I love it when people do go out their way to pass a compliment or to say a good word, because they don't have to do these things, and it takes more for somebody to do that for a good reason than it does for bad. You know, everybody's more than happy if something goes wrong. People quickly slate, and they'll very quickly tell you how shit something is. But for somebody to go out of the way and tell you how good something is, that really means something. For me, what we do different is just, we set out at the start of this, mate, that it had to be ethical. It had to be about the people, and it had to be about doing things the right way, because me and you and our teams in the past have both been at the wrong end of the less ethical marketing. You know what I mean? And so when you've got people who are money first, get the deal at all cost kind of marketers, and the people come a long way back in second place, it makes this a harder world than it needs to be. And so Big and I both wanted this to be a legitimate, ethical, and about the people, and putting you guys first, because If you do that, well, if we do that, then you'll do that. And if
So let's do this. Let's clear the air. Again, Rich, how did this get started, man? How did Boss XL come about? Is it something we just basically pulled out of our butt, or was there, you know what?
it's a nice story, you know.
I was going to say, why don't we do this? The story actually started with you. And
Yeah.
the great thing I love about Rich, everyone, is he's extremely humble. And I think part of it comes because a lot of you watching this are probably the same way, in the fact that it's hard for you to celebrate your successes, albeit small. And most people don't do that. Now, I'm going to kind of let the cat out of the bag here. Rich had a reason not to celebrate, because for a period of about 3 years network marketing, he made the ungodly sum of $25. So I can understand why he was shy and humble, but something happened, Rich. And so rather than me tell it, because then it just looks like, you know, I'm patting myself on the back to pat you on the back.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the people where you came from? Because there was a bad period in your life where $25, if you made 25, would have been a whole lot of money, right, my man?
Yeah, and just to absolutely clarify his point, because I'm that geek boss that he keeps talking about, detail's a big deal to me. I made $25 online marketing in 5 years. I was doing network marketing in the background, but even in that, I don't think I ever made more than a few $100s. So whichever way you look at it, it were a pretty shoddy state of affairs. I found myself in a situation a while back where I'd been in a good place for a long time. I've been living the good life. You know, I'd built up a good job, good business, got the nice house, all that great stuff. But ultimately ended up bankrupt, ended up failure, lost it all, and went through a terrible time over the next few years, just trying to scramble back some sort of decent living to get myself back on an even keel. And as that started to come to fruition, I then came out of work through ill health for quite a long time. And throughout all of that period of trying to get my life back on track, online marketing, network marketing, that's what I'd been trying to do. And ultimately I'd failed at it. And the reason I'd failed at it is easy to see in hindsight. You know, you can look back at something always and think, if only I'd done that. And I look at it now and Christ, it had been so easy for things to be different, but they weren't. And ultimately what happened was I got introduced to a business at a time when I weren't in a business mindset. I weren't looking for another opportunity. I'd pretty much conceded that things were going to be as shit as this for the rest of my days. And somebody kept going on at me. And this business that I got introduced to, the business model that I got introduced to, is within what you're going to see in the next few minutes. It's part of the system that we're going to show you, because it's a business model that made perfect sense to me. And I was able, despite my humble beginnings, able to get started with zero. Because the model allows you to do that, I was able to start with no money whatsoever, throw myself into it, learn everything about it, utilize some of the services and resources that it offered, which were free at the time. I found that those services worked. I learned more about them, I promoted them, and I went from that zero start to in excess of $20,000 in earnings.
So hang on now. I mean, we're broadcasting this Pit Lane Power Hour live on Facebook. If you can relate out there watching this live or on replay with what Rich has talked about, I mean, here's someone that basically, you wouldn't know it now, but went from humble beginnings, had success, ended up with, as you said, bankruptcy, things like that. Many people went through that. This is around the financial crisis, right, Rich?
Yeah.
Okay.
2008.
Okay. So again, being in that whole financial services arena and all like that, many people, again, give my man thumbs and hearts up, went through that same thing, no fault of their own, putting them in a predicament financially where they have to make a decision that no one wants to make. And that's that whole bankruptcy cycle. Now, what that does is not only does it create issues as far as credit and your finances and all like that, but it just destroys the psyche. And yet, here's someone who said, basically, I'm in a desperate situation and I need to find a way, okay, yet ethically find a way to move forward. And he was able to do that, as he talked about. Now, part of him doing that, to finally basically, you know, swallow his pride, you know, put the ego away and get down to work and know that he had to do it because, again, he's not only supporting himself, but he also has children. And those are the things that need to be done. So again, a lot of kudos and to you, Rich. You're humble about that, but I think more and more people need to hear about that because there's too many marketers out there that's the first thing they do is play up this, oh, I was born dirt poor, et cetera, et cetera. And, and you're opposite of that, yet you've probably gone through more than most in the most recent history. And yet you don't talk about it. So I'm going to help you do that for you. So again, appreciate that. Give some thumbs up, some love, some hearts for Rich. But let's talk about, it was after you had gained some traction in kind of moving forward with this this offer, this way to start to earn a little bit online, that you came to my attention. And I invited you on a show very much like this. You were sitting in that spot where Josh is sitting right now. All right. Except you didn't have a deer growing out of the top of your head like Josh does. That's an American thing.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah. But I invited you on because you came to the forefront because of what you were able to do in a short period of time to go from literally $0, not putting any of your own money in because you didn't have any money. All right. But you created dollars, okay, based off an opportunity. You saw an opportunity and you worked that opportunity and you turned that into, in a period of just a couple of months. And I'll let you take the story there. And it's important we're talking about this on the Pit Lane Power Hour for all of you, because we want you to understand that there's a history behind how this system was built, because we want you to have success in it. And Rich is essentially the person that went through the process before he understood how powerful this system and strategy is. All right. But it was piggybacked off of him going through what he went through and then ending up being at the point where he was a guest on a show very much like this and asking the same questions I'm going to ask Josh. Rich is going to ask Josh. But let the people know how you came about coming to my attention, Rich.
I love looking back on all this. It is awesome. It really is. It was when I got called onto this show a while back now. It's over 12 months ago now. At that time,
last Christmas, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If I remember right, I'd created around 23 grand by that stage from zero, which was epic. And
I remember me reaching out to you, and you're like, "But dude, I'm not like a big producer." And
no, in the grand scheme of things, no. But in my life, as it was then, that was massive. That was significant. Bear in mind,
that's what stood out for me, Rich, because you actually did. I think in a side blurb, in one of your motivational side blurb, you did mention how you got there, but you weren't playing it up. But I picked up on the story aspect and how you went from zero without any of your money and busted your butt. So tell people where those dollars came from to put back into that business.
Yeah, well, essentially, from using what I'd learned about the business, from taking the product, the services of that business, and promoting it. Because when you're working online, ultimately what you're doing is you're promoting something. In any business, no money's made unless there's a transaction. There's always a product, a service, a tool, a resource. Something must be sold. If there's nothing to be sold or created, it ain't a business.
Hallelujah, brother. Thumbs up, hearts, if you understand that. Okay, nothing happens till something is sold. Go ahead, Rich.
Absolutely. And so I found myself in a position where I'd found a product that I believed in, where I used it for my own benefit with an advertising product. And so I'd use that to advertise something that I'd found online that I could advertise for free. I'd use the free advertising to advertise the free product, which made me commission 3 times over. And I thought, wow, all my Christmases have come at once. And so I went hell for leather and started working that business, promoting it properly, and ultimately selling advertising space online, but through my own hard work. And that generated all of that money. But here's what I found, or what I realized: my hard work wasn't duplicatable. It didn't matter how good I was, and I say this to everybody, it doesn't matter how good you are. It's not about your individual brilliance. It's about what other people can replicate and duplicate. And I got the chance to head over to Vegas, and that's where I spent a weekend with big with some other great leaders, and we spent the entire weekend when we weren't drinking learning about
about 5 minutes. No, just kidding. Go ahead, Rich.
We were learning about marketing on a bigger level, how to leverage that business, but also how to systemize. And I'd been learning about systemization in the years gone prior to that, but never actually done anything about it. And I had a conversation with one of the guys there and followed it up with Big afterwards, and created this idea. And my idea was a simple idea, and it's built off the back of what I'd done to fail for the last 5 years. I'd joined business opportunities, plural. I'd tried everything. You name it, I joined it. Business opportunity upon business opportunity. And ultimately what I'd done is the same as what most people do. I'd hit up family and friends. I'd cornered people at parties and tried to talk to them there. I'd texted random telephone numbers on vans as they drove past me in the street. I'd done all the house parties. I'd spammed all the Facebook walls. I'd done all of that crap and got not very far at all. What I've not done is looked at the bigger picture. Business opportunities is one thing, but what you need to succeed online in a duplicatable way is also a sales system. In addition to that, what you need a niche market to expose things to. And my way of thinking was, if I've got a business opportunity that's plugged into an automated sales system, that's exposed to a niche market, that can only lead to success. And that's where the BossX formula, BOSSX, the BossX formula was created from. And I had massive success with that throughout the rest of the year, and ultimately went on to make almost 6 figures in my first 12 months.
So now let's talk about it, Rich. Let's not be humble here. You know what we're known for? We're known for sharing real, raw, proof progress results. So it took you how many months to get to roughly 20-something thousand? Previous to basically us saying, here's what you got to do, you got to focus, et cetera, and you got to create.
About 3 months.
Okay, about 3 months. How long did it take you to then get to nearly 6 figures after that?
About another 7.
Exactly. So in that time, all right, so we're talking 10 months, we're talking damn close to 6 figures. And what was the difference between the previous years only making $25 to a year where you basically made 6 figures? What was the difference?
Duplication, absolutely duplication. It was creating something that not only people could do who I introduced it to, but also it made it easy for them to expose it further. It's just leverage on a massive scale.
Absolutely. So if you love the story of Rich going from that type of situation and background, going through the times it went through that a lot of you can probably relate with, maybe not necessarily the financial being a down in the dumps, but starting basically with the frustrations, looking at so many different offers, basically chasing the shiny objects before, getting hit by the money hammer in Vegas and saying, Rich, focus, wake up on, taking the fact that people can relate to you and building this system. And I give all the credit to him having the original BossX, which is business opportunity sales system and exposure. So I came back and it was probably, probably September, around that time. And I said to Rich, I love what you're doing, all like that. How are you doing? And Rich was on enough to say that he's doing well, but he's kind of stalled and plateaued. All right. And again, he can't complain about making 6 figures. I'm sure all of you out there are shaking your head going, what's he complaining about? He made 6 figures. Well, once you tap into success, all right, and you have that adrenaline, okay, of not only making it yourself, but helping others create it also, which is exactly why he created the BossX system, all right? To plateau just simply means that he felt he was missing something. So we masterminded, we mind mapped back and forth. And what I realized was that he was missing the one thing that he'd already been exposed to and talked about and asked about and pushed and prodded to do, yet he never did it. And what was that, Rich? Why do we joke about the fact that on shows sometimes you will bring out the money chicken when I bring out the money hammer, my man?
Traffic, buddy, traffic. And I'm shaking my head as I do it. It's just the way you introduce it, humble or not. It makes you feel a twat when you realise that you were actually missing.
Sometimes your bank account is the one calling you a twat. Yeah, go ahead, my man. So Rich was afraid of traffic. Specifically, what do you mean you were afraid of going out and playing in traffic? My mom yelled at me all the time to go, don't run out in the street. Is that what you mean, Rich? For the people watching, again, if you're watching this on replay, you're watching on live, make sure you get back to the person to get you into the Facebook group, www.getinthegroup.com, and you'll see more people there understanding exactly what Rich is now talking about. The eyes are open. But what do you mean by traffic?
Yeah.
What traffic were you afraid of, Rich?
In an online sense, traffic is little more than people. If you have, well, not just in an online sense, in any business arena, traffic is people looking at what you've got to offer. So whether that be people walking down the street, if you've got a high street store, or whether it be people checking out your website or your landing page, if you've got an online offer. And for a lot of years, I was told in all of these business opportunities that I've joined, buy traffic, buy traffic, buy traffic. And mainly because, I was going to say mainly because I was an idiot. I wasn't an idiot. I'm a smart guy. Mainly because I didn't know, like, or trust the people who I was working with at the time, in the most part. I genuinely believed that they wanted to take money out of my pocket rather than put it in it. I saw this whole idea of buying traffic as just another expense at a time when I hadn't got the money to be fucking out any more expenses. And so it was a reason for me to kind of go backwards rather than forwards. I was terrified of it. I didn't want to do it. And traffic isn't cheap, or that's what I was under the impression of. So it's not like it was just going to be a small test purchase. It was going to be $100 or a couple of $100. That was too much for me to be messing around with. So yeah, it was an expensive lesson. Because the reality is, mate, in those years, you tot up those 5 years or whatever, I'm surrounded by people. Some know smarter than me, some know better looking than me, but ultimately they were earning more than me. And if I look at their six-figure earnings over the course of those years, that's what it cost me to not drive traffic. I might have thought I was saving myself $100 by not spending it on traffic. I was actually costing myself tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars by not sending
So,
traffic.
Rich, if you're able to admit that, why aren't other people? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, there is no magic pill. There is no secret sauce. We lay it all out in the Boss Excel Supercharged Sales Loop system. And before we jump into showing you exactly what the system's all about, and like I said, we're going to share everything. We hold nothing back. We hide nothing. What I want to do is just bring Josh out, let him introduce himself very quickly, and just see if he agrees that maybe he was in that same situation that Rich was not that long ago, and kind of tease you a little bit, because we're going to go into the presentation. We'll bring him back later when we talk about certain parts about it. So Josh, I'm going to unmute you and just, Rich, Rich, can you unmute my man, Josh?
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. So Josh, Rich basically shared quite a bit. Are you finding yourself, I saw you shaking your head quite a bit, and the deer back there was shaking his head also. Maybe just quickly introduce who you are, where you're from. Tell the people, you're not a full on-time marketer, what you're doing now, and what parts of what Rich just talked about resonated. Then we'll get right into the presentation, my man.
Well, my name is Josh Leal, VM, virtual marketer, but I'm originally from Minnesota. I've been down here in Texas now for about a little over 6 years. And I had tried doing some marketing and different things for a while. And then back in 2008, with the housing crisis and everything, I had rental properties and everything. And with the economy, I lost everything pretty much. So my dad being from Texas and everything, we decided to move to Texas and start over. So we down here, I was in some different programs and working on, because I wanted to take control. I didn't want to run into, have to deal with, losing everything again with the job. Started selling cars, and I've been selling cars since then, but tried some different programs, worked on some things, of course, went from this shiny object to another and this and that program, and trying everything I could to make some money. And then Big reached out to me recently when this whole Boss XL thing, kind of one of the orphans, and put it all together, and things are making sense now. I'm having success doing things I'm supposed to actually, make everything work. And it's been a real blessing, to find, for Big and for Rich, it's really showed me a lot of things, and I've learned more in the past couple months than I have years trying to, make money online.
Awesome, Josh. Yeah, no, and what's great is you resonated, not only resonate, but your story is somewhat similar to Rich's, and I think a lot of people out there probably can resonate with that also, because again, the waves of that 2008 collapse reverberated around the world. And so what we're going to do is, Josh, we thank you for that. Hold on, brother. We're going to have you come back, share more of your story, share more of your success and experience with the Boss XL, the Supercharged Sales Loop system. But I want to just give people an idea that, we're not bringing you on to basically, hype the crap out of the fact that you have all this, success in the program and like that. We want people to hear the fact that what you've been through and how Boss XL is shaping your training, your mindset, all that stuff. But ultimately, the Boss XL Supercharged Sales Loop system is more than just a system. It's entire community, but we've got to start somewhere. And so, Rich, my man, why don't we go ahead and put some meat on the bones? Why don't we clear the air here and get right to the system, my man, so people can see, what's under the engine, if you will.
Let's do that. So
that smells so good.
Does it smell sweet?
Yes, it does. Just like this system's gonna smell when you guys see what we're about to show you.
You're gonna like this. Let me just jump back to there. We'll throw you on screen share. Let me know that you guys can see my screen now.
We are good to go, brother. Let's rock and roll.
Beautiful.
All right. Now, before we start, make sure that you're focused here. If you're on Facebook and watching this live, go ahead and let everyone know. Jump on. This part's fun right here. If you got the kids or the wife, girlfriend, husband, boyfriend, etc., doesn't matter. Just let them know that you're going to spend the next 45 minutes focusing on something that's going to possibly change your financial future. And we're serious about this. So go ahead, my man, Rich, take over and explain to them all about Boss XL. And if you're lucky, I'll also be happy to share my back office results live. Up to you.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, up to you. Again, I'm running behind. I'll have to pull those up real quick, but you let me know.
Yeah, let's have a look. So what you are going to see before you see anything is an earnings disclosure. And that's for good reason. We spoke a lot about legitimacy, ethics, things that are really important to me and Big. And so there are no guarantees in this business whatsoever. This business, these businesses, now there's a teaser. No guarantees, results aren't typical, irrespective of what I've done, what Big's done, what any of the other guys have done. That's not to say that you're going to do the same, because work ethic, business system, strategy, your ability to follow instructions, and some of the most basic fundamentals of your own being have a massive impact on what comes out of this. It's not a pyramid, it's not an investment, it's not a Ponzi scheme, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is business. There are no promises of interest, there's no money invested. We just provide you with a platform and a free membership so that you can utilize what we've built to create your own success. And that success is determined by A, what you think it means, and B, what you do, whether that be enough to pay your gas bill this month or enough to buy a new house next year or whatever. You guys decide. So moving on, we built this for a number of reasons. We built it for every Joe like me, everybody who is ultimately wanting to generate more income or a better way of life, because it's not always about the money, it's about what you're able to do with the money. I asked the question recently, what success mean to you on Facebook? And people were talking about this, that, or the other things generally. Financial freedom. For me, it's about time freedom. What money can do for me and my family is very different to what money can buy for me or my family. But we wanted to create a system that had a massive market. And truth is, there's a home-based business opens every 12 seconds just in the United States alone. So if you're able to service those people with a tool or a resource or a product or a service, that puts you in a very strong position, because there's lots of people just like me, just like Lloyd, just like Josh, who are striving for success from home. So we look to cater for that success. Because you look back at the gold rush in the 1800s, people think people were making lots of money digging for gold. No, they weren't. Most people made next to nothing and struggled for years and years. The people making money were the guys selling the picks, the pans, and the shovels. And that's exactly what we're going to show you guys how to do, because that's exactly what we're doing. So moving forward, what is Boss Excel? When we created the Excel system, what we did is we made two changes. We added the L on the end of Boss X, which is a loop. We're going to come back to that in just a second. And we changed the SS from a sales system to a success system. This is your success system, what you're looking at right here. It's made up of 5 things. Traffic, the thing that scared me for years. A funnel, a way of taking people through a process from being mildly interested to relatively interested to want it, to do it, to money spitting out at the bottom. A filter, a way of putting the wrong people off, because you don't want to be working with idiots. You don't want to be wasting your time on people who aren't looking to make any moves or decisions. So this, what you're watching right now, is a filter. We could do short 5-minute, short 30-second infomercials to promote what it is we do. But instead, we do an hour-long show to filter people out. And the entire system has got a number of filters built into it that you'll get to see. We include number 4, follow-up, because the average person needs exposing to something between 7 and 12 times before they make a buying decision. So the follow-up is created for you by us, and then we train you how to create more of your own. And then number 5 is tiered congruent products. By tiered, what I mean is products that increase in price, but also increase in value. It's no point spending more money if you're not getting more back in return. Congruent, meaning things that fit together. So you'll often hear of people, online marketers, who are trying to make money by pitching this, that, or the other, all of which have got nothing to do with each other except they make that person money. It's a load of crap. What you want is products that work together and complement each other in a congruent way. So that's your success system. What I'm going to touch on first is the BOs, the business opportunities, the front end offers, which are a safe list and a traffic exchange. So your safe list, if you're not familiar with those, you'll get familiar in the training. This is not a training gig, this is not a training event, but essentially it's a list of people who are who've opted in, who are willing to accept your information, whatever information that might be. So if you've got a business, you can contact them about your business. We teach you how to leverage that as an income opportunity and as a training ground. Then we've got a traffic exchange, which is a website that allows you to exchange viewings. You'll look at their website if they'll look at yours. And we teach how to utilize that to drive massive traffic into what you're doing. So the safe list, first of all, very quickly, I'm going to run over what it costs you and what you're going to get out of it, because the reason we have this at the front of this system, because this system, just to be clear, I don't think we mentioned it earlier than now, this system is built for you by me and Lloyd. Me and Big put this together a number of months ago, and we saw it as our gift to the world. So on 26, that's such a cliche, innit? What a load of crap. But we did. We saw it as a gift. We built something.
Rich, after that statement, I'm gonna bring out the air freshener, because that is a load of crap. No, it was built for others to have success, starting from nothing.
Absolutely.
The rest of that is superfluous. Go ahead, my man.
Absolutely. That's a better way of putting it. Our gift to the world. How cheesy did that sound? So yeah, we built something that was going to work for us and that was going to be able to be leveraged by other people. So what we wanted was at the front of this entire system, the first thing that your people are going to get to see is an offer which has no barrier to entry. What do I mean by that? I mean $7. That means that pretty much everybody can do it. There's very few people who've not got $7, or what is it in the UK, about £5, £4.50, £5, something like that. If they've not got £4.50 or $7 to start a business, then guess what? Step one of the filters worked. And that's a pretty strong filter, because you don't want to be working with people who've not got £4.50 yet, because it is going to be very difficult for them. So they buy for $7 a traffic package, which provides them with traffic. You remember the thing that I was most fearful of? It provides them with traffic to send to whatever they want. We're going to give them something to send it to anyway, but they're going to have visitors to a website of their choice. They can spend more and get more visitors. They can send emails to people who are going to be interested in business opportunities every 28 days or every 14 days, every 9 days. They choose their own marketing budget. But importantly, these figures, the $7 or the 17 or the 27, they're one-off prices. So you pay once and you get to use this traffic every month or every 14 days or every 9 days for life. It's incredibly powerful. What you get in return as a marketer, because that's a great tool, how do you make money from it? You, when you put your Boss Excel system together, get a system that sells that traffic for you. And so when people buy those traffic packages, you get 100% of the commissions. So what does that mean? It means you're getting $7 time and time again until you've earned 56. It means you're getting $17 when people upgrade to the higher levels until you've got just over $1,000. And it means you're getting $27 over and over again when people upgrade to Emerald. And
so Rich, what you're saying is, what you learned was not only could you buy traffic, but you could also use the traffic. And then you could also get paid for introducing people to the fact that it makes sense to buy traffic.
Absolutely.
Boom. Awesome.
Boom, boom. It's a beautiful thing, mate, a beautiful thing. And like I said, because it costs so little, it doesn't matter if you screw up using your traffic the first couple of times. I call it the training wheels, because this is where you come when you know nothing about traffic. You spend $7 because you can, and you then learn how to drive traffic to whatever you've got.
But Rich, can you actually make money from these little $7 and $17 offers? And I think you can, right? That was a little cheesy too, as far as a segue intro. Go ahead, my man.
Yeah, I think you can, mate, because as you know, we get regular notifications by email every time it happens. But let's have a look. Show us how it works, Lloyd. Jump in your back office if we've got time. How are we doing for time?
Yeah, actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold off. That's good enough for now. Okay, that you actually do. And let's do this. Let's keep moving to pick up some of the slack from our little technical difficulty there in the beginning. So we've got to make up about 5-7 minutes here, my man.
Okay, let's go. So that's your safe list. So your traffic exchange is a business called Future Ad Pro. Future Ad Pro, as I say, offers a service where you exchange viewings. You look at their website, they look at yours. So you're able to buy traffic in Future Ad Pro. It's called an ad pack. And when you buy your ad pack, you get to place adverts just like you're looking at on screen. And every member of Future Ad Pro has made an agreement that they will look at 10 of these adverts per day. In return for doing so, they get to share in the company's profits if the company's made profit. So there's a real incentive for them to look at your adverts. Now, when they look at the advert page, they have a number of adverts to choose from. So the people who click on your link are the ones who are interested in what you've had to say, because they could be clicking on any other. So what we do is we teach you how to make good ad copy, how to make your advertising congruent, so that when people do click through, there's more likelihood of you getting the results that you're looking for. So on there, you're buying advertising. Now, in return for doing so, just like with Least Ad Space, you're able to earn commissions for selling the advertising also. So you've got really good value advertising that you can use, that you can buy, and that you can ultimately sell. And so depending on your membership within Future Ad Pro, the commissions that you get for selling the advertising will vary. In Future Ad Pro, people who you introduce are considered what's called your level 1. People who they introduce are considered your level 2. And then who they introduce your level 3, and so on and so on. So depending on your membership in Future Ad Pro, that will determine how much commission you can make. And similar sort of question, buddy. Is there good money to be made in Future Ad Pro? How's that gig work?
There's always money to be made in traffic, Rich. That's exactly the conversation I had with you many, many months ago. And it's not being afraid to understand traffic, and that the number one thing that people need, which they avoid if you're in any business. I don't care if you're selling cakes. I don't care if you're selling pants for chimpanzees. I don't care what you're selling. You need more eyeballs on your offer, and that's only going to come through traffic. In fact, the number one business in the world when it comes to online marketing is traffic. And the beauty is, inside Boss Excel, we show you how to get it, how to leverage it, and yes, ultimately, how to make money from it. So to answer your question, yes. Now, are you asking me if we can show proof?
Well, my finger is hovering over the next page slide, buddy.
Well, let's see. Obviously, we can. Now, wait, Rich. What date is that slide from? We need to update our slides, my man.
We do, mate. We do. That's the 21st of January. Why? Have you earned more money since then?
I don't know. Maybe I have. Let's do this. Instead of teasing you, let's go right to it. We said we would share proof progress results. We're running a little behind, so I couldn't show you proof progress results on Least Ad Space, but I can show you on Future Ad Pro. Now, let me remind you, if you're watching this on replay or live and someone shared the link with you, make sure you get back to that person so that they can get you in the group. They can also get you started on your very own Boss Excel Supercharged Sales Loop system. You can have a system up and running in about 24 hours with all the programs, all of the systems, all the follow-ups, everything included in that time. Now, can you make money? Yes, I show proof progress results there on that slide. Remember, I'm a top 3 to 1% earner. Results not typical. Again, earnings income is never promised nor guaranteed, but let's see. So that goes back to what? January 21st. See, last week we played a game about this. We're not going to do that because we're running short on time. So let me just go straight to sharing my screen. One of the most important things that we're going to do, I'm going to bump you off here for a second, brother.
No worries.
Is I want you to get into the Facebook group. This is the Boss Excel Supercharged Sales System. All right, and in there, as you can see, we're hovering close to over 1,400. We'll be at 1,500 basically by week's end, if not before. And it's average everyday people. Well, crap, I don't want to call them average. I got to spray myself here because these people aren't average.
They've never been average.
Right. They're taking action because of the system. And the system is all about traffic and leveraging traffic. So make sure you get in the group, www.getinthegroup.com. And let's go and look at where I am in Future Ad Pro. Now, again, this is not all about the commissions. What we're trying to show you is that if you implement a system, in the beginning, Rich talked about the main thing he was missing in his own personal success in that first 3 months is he didn't have anything that was duplicatable. It was everything he was doing by himself. Once he created the original BossX system, then it was duplicatable. Other people could do it. But people were plateauing because if it's duplicatable, replicatable, but then there's something missing, and that's called traffic, which is why this entire system is about traffic, leveraging traffic to put back into the loop, taking earnings, putting back in, buying additional traffic, etc. So if I go to my Future Ad Pro account, all right, again, results not typical. This is what the dashboard looks like. And so in order to see where I am currently on commissions and earnings, now, I have not been in Future Ad Pro a full year. I have been in this for how many months, my man, Rich? You know this because I first talked to you about this way back then.
Yeah, it was April, if I remember. I was looking at about knocking on 11 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
End of April, 1st of May, and since that time. So what was the date again? January 21st, I believe, right? So we're talking
about 2 weeks, give or take.
Right, a couple weeks, 3 weeks. Okay, so let's go in and look at where we are now. Business. So it was 100,000. We are now 123,000 on earnings and commissions. Now, if you had your
money hammer,
money chicken, where's your money chicken? Again, results not typical. We don't want you to only focus on this, but to answer your question, can you make money from traffic? The truth is, every business makes money from traffic. And so the question becomes, why aren't you? All right, and that's what the Boss Excel system is all about. I'm going to come out of this, all right, Rich, and just let people know that it's possible. Not only is it possible, but now we've built an entire system based on the strategy that I've been using going back over a year, and the results again are not typical, but they're certainly doable. Now, before we move on, my man, let's kind of dive more into some of the pluses that they get, so we can bring Josh out. What are some of the things that we do inside the group, for the group, as far as training, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Why don't we go to that slide, and then we can have Josh come out and talk about his experience inside the group, because we provide the system. I understand that, but there's so much more, and Josh started to touch on it, and I want him to come back to that point. And so I know there was a slide you did that I think is fantastic. A couple weeks ago, we approved it. It had a lot of words that start with F.
Yes.
Not that kind of F. I got to clear the air again then.
Yeah. A few too many F words. Right. So, are you on screen share right now?
You can take me off. No, I'm not.
1 second. Let's just grab this screen then. So back to software, share screen. Here we go. Are you ready? Yeah.
Yeah.
All the F words.
Right. All the F words. Get ready. Hide the kid's eyes, because we're about to unleash the F bombs.
There we go. Right. Okay. So this is what you get. We've skipped forward because of the time aspect. You get a lot of free stuff. And my business coach thinks I'm insane for giving away all this free stuff. He maybe doesn't look at the world in the same way as Big and I say maybe. I know he doesn't look at the same way. Not many people do. But what we see is when you give free value, you platform people, you put them in a position to learn and to earn, to succeed and to duplicate. And all of those things really, really matter. So what we give people is a full automated success system. What do I mean by that? It's at the front, you get 8 now. Ignore the numbers. We need to update it. You get 8 lead capture pages. So basically 8 mini websites that you can advertise that will capture people's information so that you can follow up with them. You remember number 4 from the success system. Your system follows up with them automatically. All you have to do is advertise those pages. Where are you going to advertise them? Well, funnily enough, in the places that we've just told you about, the Safe List, the Traffic Exchange, plus multiple other places that we teach about. You're going to get a multi-page system that's going to sell for you, that's going to train for you, that's going to instruct for you. You're going to get 3 weekly trainings that are going to teach you how to utilize the Safe List, the Traffic Exchange, the Success System. That's going to teach you all sorts of other bells and whistles, marketing strategies, social media stuff. One of those trainings is specifically for high-level members only. It's a closed mentoring group where Big and I teach on specific strategies that are more advanced than just how do you use these 3 systems. There's private chat rooms, there's Facebook groups, the one that Big just showed you, which if you've not got in there yet, you need to get in the Facebook group. Well, you need to get in the group, www.getinthegroup.com. There's a lot of stuff, and pretty much all of it is free. Not to mention the other freebies that just get given away along the way when we're doing our little incentives and playing our little games and whatnot, because business needs to be fun. You know, business can't be boring. And so if you're going to have a laugh at work, can we call this at work? Do you know what I mean? That sounds a bit.
It's only work if you don't like what you're doing. Now, you've always got to work. Work gets you results, but it's only work if you don't enjoy what you're doing. So what's fantastic is all the stuff, all the F-bombs that Rich just dropped there are fantastic. But rather than us talk about that, all right, because as we said, it all starts with the system. It actually all starts with the community, which is the Facebook group, which is free to join. So if you get in the group, you can actually sit back, hide in the shadows, and see that we are true to our word. We do what we say. We come out with trainings every week live. We have multiple other ways to help people. The group is very active. And rather than us go on about it, why don't we bring Josh out, Rich, and have you ask him some questions, since you guys have a similar experience there in 08, but talk about because again, I know you and I talked about how we wanted to create this group, this community, this movement, if you will, Boss XLers in training, all this stuff. And I know you had a vision for it based on your past experience. So I'll let you do the honors, bring my man out and ask him some questions about the group, the training, the follow-up, all that type of stuff. And then maybe we can get into a little bit about Winner's Circle. And I'll let you lead that conversation, my man.
Yeah, no problem. So come on out, Josh. And to be fair, me and Josh have spoke, haven't we? We've had various chats, but
Yes, sir.
we've not gone that deep. I didn't realise that you'd encountered them same issues.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, and the thing that really was tough for me is, I mean, I'm married. You know, if I was alone, I could live out of my car, no big deal. You know, but you know, the one, you know, lucky I guess we don't have kids yet, so just at least having, you know, dealing with the wife and losing, you know, you lose your house, you lose this, and you don't know what you're gonna do. You know, it makes it harder.
Yeah, absolutely. So how long after that sort of impact and the world going to shit, for want of a better word, how long after that did you start to get involved in this world, you know, the non-traditional means of making money?
I had been looking at it for quite a while, even before, you know, things went to shit, you know, because I've always been trying to make more money.
Yeah.
You know, find a way, you know, to where you have control over yourself. Because, you know, I've been reading books and, you know, different things. And, you know, because I was like everybody else. I went to college, then I got a master's degree, you know, get a job, you know, work hard and figure things out. But it doesn't work like that.
No. The world, it don't always play out how you expect.
So wait a minute, Josh. So you went to college.
Correct.
You got a master's degree.
Correct.
And you weren't
human performance.
and human performance. And you weren't given or guaranteed anything just because you got a degree. Why is that?
No.
That's what everybody says. Go
Yeah.
to school, get that degree. Hey, get an even better degree, and you're guaranteed to have work.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because I had an in that was going to get me in to work with, because I used to coach hockey and everything and work with athletes, and, you know, basically with my degree, you know, you get people to perform, and he got indicted.
Really?
So that was kind of, you know, I started working with a friend, you know, making jerseys and, you know, coaching hockey, and then I met, you know, eventually became my wife, and just, you know, that world just disappeared, really, you know, and I was just, but I've always been looking at ways to make money. And then when everything went to shit, I really wanted to find something where I had control.
Yeah. So between starting to look for these alternative ways of making money and getting started with us, what had your experiences been so far of online income or network marketing or that kind of world?
It was a struggle big time because it's simple. Everything's simple, but they don't tell you it's not easy. You know, they make it out to be easy, but it does take some work.
Now, Josh, have we ever used that word easy?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right. Awesome.
I mean, that's what it was always in the past. So, you know, the first different companies like, oh, this is easy, you know, this, and, you know, I think this stuff, it's simple. You know, basically you have a product, somebody buys it, there you go. But it's all different stuff that goes to get into that, to where you don't get to see that. You don't know how it actually works.
Yeah. The simple bit is the process. The easy, and the reason it's not, is because life gets in the way. There's distraction. There's your own mindset. There's the obstacles that you create for yourself. And by the sounds of it, your background's similar to mine. Sometimes we are our own biggest obstacle. You know?
Well, and I spoke with Big about this a while back. You know, like I said, I have a master's in human performance. I help athletes, you know, perform at their top level. I have people in business I've talked to, but I couldn't get myself to do the same thing. I could tell everybody else how to do it, but myself, I couldn't look in the mirror and say, hey, this is what you need to do. And it was amusing, actually. It's like, how can I tell somebody else to do it and I can't do it myself?
Yeah, and what's wonderful, Josh, is coming out and admitting that, and talk to the people a little bit about the value that you're receiving. The system is what it is. Okay, the
Mhm.
Boss XL supercharged sales loop system is what it is, and that's, as you said, very simple to set up. But what true value are you receiving from being in the group, from being in the winner circle, from being on those trainings, from being able to have one-on-one chats with myself and Rich? Talk about that for people, because we don't talk about it enough, because if we do, it sounds almost like we're bragging.
Mhm.
But if coming from you, basically from your own experience and all like that, from someone, as you said, who just admitted, listen, I'm supposed to be the guy, getting these people, in line and moving forward and improving. But talk about that for someone, because there are probably people on this call or watching this replay going, oh crap, get out the air freshener, big, another system, great, I've seen it before. Talk about the value added stuff, the intangibles, if you will, my man. And intangibles are a big part of performance improvement, right, my man?
Exactly. I mean, the big thing is like the group is, anytime I have a question, I'll send it out to the group, whether you're able to answer or Rich or, John Bowen, my accountability partner, being with that winner circle. I mean, anybody can answer a question. If not, somebody else will help you out. Instead of like you would email somebody or text somebody and they're like, well, go look at this. Everything's there. Everybody has answers. They can show you. They'll direct you. You do have to, FOP, some of this stuff yourself, figure it out, or FOS, whatever it was. But
that's FSO, Josh.
FSO, whatever.
Yeah. Figure shite out across the pond. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes everybody gets stuck, and you can't see it. And I had something with Rich the other day, and I messaged him, and he got back to me, and he's like, you really answered your own question. I'm like, you know what, you're right. Just something simple like that, which I never had before.
So now, Josh, let's answer a simple question, because obviously a lot of people are watching this going, yeah, but the only reason that Rich and those guys are doing it is because they're making money off you, because you're signing up under the programs underneath them. Why don't you share people the truth? How many programs were you actually already in when you came to Boss XL? And how many programs, with all the help that Rich gives you, are you underneath in Rich inside Boss XL? Just be honest with people.
Well, under Rich, I'm under him and none.
A big zero.
A big zero under Rich, yes. With Big, I'm under two of them, and I already had a couple before I came in. Because I'd seen Big before on some other stuff that I was working with. So, and then, like I said, Big, you had reached out with me after, things kind of separated with the other stuff we were doing. And it was really a blessing in disguise for me, at least.
So just to be really, really clear for people, I've not forced you to leave those other gigs and sign again under me before I've given you any of the help.
No. Rich, your business boss is going to say you are crazy. No, good stuff.
Like a good idea at the time.
Wait a minute. When you and I were putting this whole mind map together, where was this, we get paid part? No. The truth is, the reason the Boss XL, the community, is so important is exactly what Josh talked about, that you really feel that you can come into that community. And Josh, do you feel like you're going to be sold something like you did for? When we talk about shiny object syndrome, inside the community, is there a pressure to join other stuff?
No, it's a community where people just give ideas, thoughts, feedback. It's really just like if you're meeting with some friends out having a couple drinks and talking. That's all it is. It's basically kind of your own mastermind group without getting together to mastermind and talk about things.
And just on the group, because no matter how good Boss XL is, and of course Big and I are a little bit biased. It's awesome. Just a smidgen. Does everybody who joins the Facebook group succeed, or are there people who also join and still don't do anything?
There's people I'm sure that are not succeeding. I think one thing you talked about with you doing your videos the other day, There's a lot of people that are scared to do videos. And I decided, even though I was at work, because, you know, like I said, I sell cars, and as many people know, my short week is probably about 60 hours a week. And that's why I love the system where it's virtual. I can do it
That's a big
from
deal.
anywhere, doing things, making money virtually. And, I just shot a video, got in one of our nicer cars and shot a video and said, hey, shoot videos. It's easy. I don't know. I didn't even know how the video looked. I just posted it, because it didn't matter.
I like
Action equals satisfaction, my man.
Exactly.
So Josh, let's do this. Let's wrap it up. We're running into that hour time, and what we want to do is finish with a call to action, a couple of slide shares for people with a call to action by my man Rich there on what they should be doing. But let's ask that famous question we asked of all our guests who come on here. So Josh, you're the Josh of today, and let's go back a year in a time machine. Let's spray the Febreze time machine mist here and go back and cut out the bullshit. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And you're sitting in front of Josh from 1 year ago, and you're the Josh of today. What advice, because I'm sure people want to hear this, what advice would you give to that Josh of 1 year ago if you had a chance to sit in front of yourself today?
I think the big thing is, like you said, just take action. Don't be scared. Just do it. You don't have the money, find it, which I was going up and down with jobs here and there. I lost a house contract down here too. I figured it out. You just keep going. Just keep doing what you got to do. And then, here I am. You can see behind me. It took me over 6.5 years, but I'm finally back in my house. My wife, I got a job. I got a nice virtual business going. And I'm on the Pit Lane Power Hour.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, brother. That's good advice. So now if you're watching this out there, go ahead. We're on Facebook Live. Give thumbs up and hearts to my man for Josh for not only giving you advice, but actually sharing from the heart and letting you know. So if you think your situation is horrible because, you stubbed your toe this week or whatever it may be, understand there are people coming from way, way more difficult places than you, and they've been able to make it work. Why? Because they swallowed their ego, they swallowed their pride, and they basically said, you know what? The only thing that's going to change it is if I choose to take action. If I choose to take action, yes, tools, resources, communities are all going to help. That's the key word, help. But the only person that's going to make a difference, and Josh said, all right, being a performance coach type person himself, when he realized that he's got to basically take out that hammer and hit himself in the head, all right, with the help of Boss XL, with the help of the community, but ultimately he had to make that decision. And what he's seeing now is once you take that action, once you see it, okay, believe it, because then now he's got that belief back again. You could see it just in his persona, his smile and stuff like that, all right, then he can be it. And so great story, Josh. We appreciate you being on. What we're going to do is have you fade in the background for a few minutes and let Rich basically pull out a couple of slides and give people a call to action, and then we'll all pop out and basically say goodbye to everyone, stick a fork in this whole thing. Rich, my man, thank you again, Josh. Appreciate that,
Thank
brother.
you, guys.
Yep.
No worries, dude. No worries. Appreciate it. So let's jump back on the screen share and get this bad boy wrapped up. Can you see my...
Let's have Josh mute.
Now.
Yep. Go ahead,
Yep.
my man.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's go, let's go. So, yeah, that is pretty much it. There's a chunk that we have missed, and it's a really significant chunk. You're going to be excited when you see more about it on the inside, and that's the actual success system itself, the platform that we've built for you that sells all of this. It is an income opportunity. It is a tool. It is a resource. It is a service. It's bells and whistles, but we're short on time. Interestingly, though, what I think, Big, you might have missed it as you were chatting, the owners of that business were watching the live tonight, and they've just put in the comments that they've been working feverishly on the pages that we need built for version 2 of our system, and so that's a massive thanks to Joel Kelman.
Yeah, one of the things you'll notice when you see us in Rich and I are active every single day in the community inside the Facebook group. We're also on letting people know that we're also actively looking, always constantly updating and improving. And so there will be a version 2.0 of the Boss XL Supercharged Sales Loop system coming in April. Now, you shouldn't wait till then because the system as it currently is kick ass. All right, it is kick ass, but we're always looking to take that horsepower from maybe we're about 350 now on our Mustang Boss XL, and we're looking to supercharge it to really be that Equus, 770, double the horsepower, make it run cleaner, faster, and obviously it's
here's the truth, people. Here's the truth. The system, when you look at it, is one of two things. You could either say the system is the series of web pages that Big and I have built with the sales videos, with all the sales psychology, all that cool stuff built into it that sells everything for you. Or you could say the system is actually all that. It's actually the trainings, it is the Facebook groups, it is the mentoring, it is the community, it's an entire system.
Rich, and that's the difference. You touched on it. The Boss XL Supercharged Sales Loop system is the funnel and marketing system. Absolutely. All right. The Boss XL Success system, all right, is the entire thing. So good point, my man.
No problem, buddy. So yeah, it's right in what he's saying. Don't wait, just get started. What you need to do is connect with whoever got you here. And by got you here, what I mean is someone might have invited you, they might have messaged you, they might have spoke to you direct, or you might just have seen on your Facebook wall that a friend of a friend clicked like to this video. Whoever inspired your getting here, get back to that person, because that's who needs to plug you into our Facebook group. That's who you need to get a copy of their funnel system, their Boss XL success system, and go through the training videos to see how you can get yourself started. Join the Facebook group, get in there as soon as you can, speak with your introducer, whoever that might be, and agree a starting budget. It doesn't matter if you've got next to nothing. You can start this entire gig for $54. $54. So there's not really much in the way of excuses to stop people getting started. But if you're already a marketer of a certain level, or if you're in business of a certain level and you're wanting to come to this and accelerate faster, by all means get started with $500. By all means get started with $1,000. It's your budget. Your sponsor, your introducer will show you how to utilize that. Set your goals, decide what it is that you want from this, and make a timeline to achieve that. And then just ask the question, right, so I'm starting with that. That's what I want. What would it take to stop me achieving it? Figure out what excuses are going to be acceptable to you to get in your way, and don't stop until those excuses hit you. Because the reality is there are no excuses except the ones that you're prepared to accept. All you need to do is get in that Facebook group, speak to people like us, and we'll show you the rest of the way. It's awesome, guys. You're going to love it. I know that. You're going to love it.
Absolutely. So if you'll come out of screen share, Rich, the bottom line is we thank you for joining us for this past hour and 5 minutes. We truly appreciate it. As we said, go ahead and hit the share button for this Facebook Live. The replay will be up momentarily afterward, but we're going to tell you, take action. As my man Josh said, until he made that decision to move forward, he could sit there and wallow in the woe is me, I deserve better because I have this great educational background, et cetera, but that's never going to change anything. All right, until you decide to move past that victim mentality. And that's why I appreciate talks with Josh. I know Rich does also, is because he took ownership of that. He basically ate that ego and no longer said, I'm the victim. Instead, he said, I'm the victor. And so the bottom line is, for all of you watching this, we appreciate you spending time with us. I'm glad we could take and clear the air here of all the crap that's out there and let you know that this program is real, because it comes from not only our experience, our proof, our progress results, but it all comes from us wanting people like you to find success as long as you're willing to put in the work. And what happens is the work that we're having you put in, something funny happens. Just like my man Josh said, it starts to not become work. It becomes something that you enjoy. And when you enjoy something, you can begin to do very well at it. So it's your boy Big Dotson here. That's my man Rich, the KC Green, and our special guest Josh Leal, basically coming to you with the deer on top of his head. And we appreciate everything. Josh, you want to come out so we can basically say goodbye to everybody, and we'll stick a fork in this. Again, brother, we truly appreciate. Maybe Rich can unmute you there and let you have the last 60 seconds of sizzle for the show, my man.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I just want to thank you guys for having me on, and you've brought me out. You really have. I've got the drive again. I've found whatever it was I had lost, truthfully, and that's all I really have to say. It's just, it's there. You just got to take it and run with it. You're going to stumble. You're going to fall. You're going to look silly, but you keep going until you're standing, on the podium with the gold medal or trophy or however it is, whatever you need. I mean, you just got to go. Just got to go.
Cheers,
Awesome.
buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. So again, we'll see you at the same time, same bat channel next week on the Pit Lane Power Hour. As I said, this has been your boy Big, my man the KC, our special guest Josh Leal. And listen, pay attention, put your hands up, because we're about to toss you the keys to your very own Boss XL Supercharged Sales Loop system. All you got to do is take that first step, hop into the cockpit. You can do that by joining the Facebook group. That's www.getinthegroup.com. And we will see you on the inside. Take care, everyone.
Later, guys.